All right, boys and girls, here's the first modifications to the 2021 RZR Pro XP. This is the Rockford Fosgate Limited Edition. 181 horsepower stock from the factory. We already got a few add-ons that I didn't get pictured or get video of, but front and back window, you can see the cargo boxes in the back. We have added some mirrors, added aluminum roof, changed out the stock tires to BF Goodrich mud terrains, added the fill-in panels for the doors, and rock sliders or rocker guards. So the first thing that we're going to do with this thing, RPM PowerSports, we're going to get rid of all the plastic intake tubing, J-tube, kind of hard to even see, but all of this stuff is plastic from the factory, and it's like an accordion style, so it can move. And they're just kind of known for, once they move, all the heat cycles, hot, cold, they crack on these accordions. You don't want dirt being sucked into that, into your turbo, into your motor. We also got, they claim the world's loudest blow-off valve. So if you go check their website out, it is loud. I'm pretty excited to get it installed on here. So we'll kind of go through what I got from them. We're also going to do Gilliman clutching and tuning. So we got a sweet tether, keychain. So everything that I bought is silicone. Look at how thick it is. It's like 1,000 times better than the factory stuff. The intake tube, apparently even on stock power, gets sucked in on these. So all the silicone, the blow-off valve is all aluminum. The factory one is plastic. So we're gonna go through and get all this stuff installed, along with, like I said, tuning and clutching from Gilliman. And this thing should be way more awake. Gilliman claims 25 horse with all the stuff that I've done with Generals and the other RZR stuff that I've done. We know that to be true. It definitely wakes them up. So here's one of the intake tubes. Again, it's plastic, and it's got a big bottleneck right here. So we're gonna start. I pulled the ECU out of it on Sunday, sent it out Monday. Gilliman got it Tuesday. I got it back to my house on Thursday. They do a 24-hour turnaround. So we're gonna get that back in. We'll go through that, get it running, make sure everything there is kosher, and then we'll tear the box off. So basically there's just like 4 bolts. Here, here, here. I gotta take out the coolers and cargo boxes. We'll lift the engine cover right off, bed, whatever you wanna call it on these. And then we'll install all the new silicone charge pipes and blow-off valve, and we'll do the clutch kit, and then we'll break that new belt in, and we'll see what she's got. I think it's gonna be pretty impressive. For what it could do stock is pretty unreal with 181 horse. So when it's up over 200, it's gonna be really impressive. All right, guys, as you can see, we got lots of projects in the garage today, but anyway, here's how this box lifts out. These 4, just grab this handle here, she lifts right out of there. So I'll take that out, and I'll give you an idea what it looks like underneath there. So we got everything laid out from RPM. Tune and clutch is in from Gilliman. So we have our intake, which goes over there. We have our charge tube and our J tube. So you just got to take out this sensor, which Looks like a 27 Torx I have here, and reinserted in here using this hardware. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that, take that band clamp off, pull the charge tube out, and then we'll probably put the blow-off valve on the new RPM charge tube. Just looks like it's easier from how it kind of sits in there. It looks like it might be a little bit of a pain in the butt. So we're gonna try putting it on and installing it that way. And we're not gonna recirculate. So we're gonna take this hose off and cap it, and they send you a cap and a clamp, and we'll just zip tie it back in here so we can hear some turbo noise. Actually hear the blow off venting to atmosphere instead of recirculating. I think I'll put the filter on it. We do ride in some dusty areas. Technically it's only blowing off, it's never sucking in, but it'll save it from having to be taken apart and cleaned, and at least as often. So we're gonna go that route. We'll see how it works, see how it sounds, and we may change our mind on that, but I think that's what we're gonna go with now. So we'll get these things installed and we'll get back. All right guys, so here's where I'm at. It kind of shows you can do everything from the top or from the back by the engine bay. There's a panel here and a panel here. That's the bottom panel, and the top panel's sitting right over there. I took them out. I'm gonna take this guard off. There's a shield up on top of the turbo and on the charge tube and stuff. It's a real pain to get to. I'm sure you can get to it without doing that, but I kind of want to see how things look, and I think it's gonna be easier to make sure that the connection is tight and your clamp is tight, and so there's really no big deal. 4 Torx. These are just push pins, or quarter turn push pins. So I pull them out. I'm gonna pull this panel off so I can see what I'm actually doing versus trying to just wiggle things around and get it to work. I got the intake out of the way and the intake tube. As you can see, this panel right there sits right on top of the clamp for the charge tube and the J tube. Excuse me. So I'm gonna pull them out of there. Pull this right here, this heat shield. I'm gonna pull it out of there so I can see everything better. It's gonna be easier to make a quick video on it as well as to where everything's supposed to go. Just because it's tucked in there pretty good. You can see that shield. We gotta get this J tube out. So I'm gonna pull that out, and then I'll put everything back together. I don't think it took more than 5 more minutes to go this route, so we'll see. I'll let you know how it goes. So it's a bit more work than it looks like, but this bolt here goes up underneath the frame. There's one in the front of this guard, and you can kind of slide it up out of the way. Now you can see both clamps we need to get at. The blow off's easy to get at. Kind of show you what I did here. Thought this was gonna be a quick and easy thing, but like I said, I guess I'm a little bit curious too. So this shield goes back in here. So you spin these 3 10mm out, and then this aluminum tray heat shield will slide back far enough that you can see everything. So now that it's out of the way, now you can kind of get at everything we need to get at. You can see a little turbo there, and blow off, and all that fun stuff. So now let's get everything ripped out of here and get this thing so we can make some turbo noises. It's really going to depend on which way everything is turned, if you have to do that or not. If this on the charge tube was turned down the clamp, you'd be able to probably catch it from the outside, maybe not have to take that clamp off. And if that one was turned towards the front, you could just take off the interior panel and take it off. Unfortunately for me, this one was turned up just about into this cover, heat shield, and as well as that one. So I took the heat shield and slid it to the side, took that back panel off, as you can see. And it depends on how it's set. I was using my Makita drill with a socket. This particular one there's not room, so got to put a ratchet on that one. And these ones are all free. The intake pipe, I was able to use a cordless drill, and this one and this one, now the heat shield's out, I'll be able to use a cordless drill on. So I'm gonna get them pulled out of here. We'll get them sitting side by side and see what kind of difference there is. It looks, just by judging, it looks like there's a lot of difference in size. Obviously the quality is a whole lot different. All stainless steel band clamps, and they're actually 304 as well. So not only stainless steel, but a decent grade of stainless steel. So let's get these all pulled out. We'll lay them on the floor side by side and get the new stuff installed. So there's the charge tube, stock one, and the RPM PowerSports. There's the stock J tube. And the stock intake. Like I said, these things are super thick, especially compared to the factory ones, which that's just an outside lip. The rest of this thing is flimsy. If you take this like this and flex it, I mean, I felt like I was gonna rip this accordion apart. I'm sure it's probably stronger than you think, but it's pretty flimsy there, so that I can flex with the motor. Definitely something that I would say is probably gonna be a weak point if you put a lot of miles on or run it hard. And I mean, let's be honest, it's an XP Pro. It's gonna get ran pretty hard. So let's get all the new stuff put on and see what we got. So we got the J tube in. This is from the back wall. Like I said, I took the back wall off. Put my guards back on. So we're gonna give her a start here and see what we got. Sounds pretty sweet. So here's our J tube. You can see the charge tube back there, the blow-off valve. Here's everything from the top side all reinstalled. My aluminum guard back in place, and the intake tube installed. So we'll button her up and take a little ride.